I got an important tool here. This is what we call potato fork. My blackberries are doing good. What about them strawberries? I planted strawberries here last year, and they have spread runners. They're doing good. But these blackberries, wild blackberries, are normally really bitter. A lot of people don't like them. It's acquired taste in the hollers of the southern United States. Acquired taste. They're real bitter, sour, but people will go through thickets and thorn just to get these little tiny berries about the size of that. Some of them you can get that big, but $half size, a quarter size is good ones, but smaller than a penny, most of them. But I learned if you put compost down, it makes them sweeter. Because these was the first ones that we harvested. They was sweetest blackberries I've ever had. And I threw some fresh compost down there, threw some wood chips, and you can see there's still compost here. So the good soil helps make them sweeter. And I put strawberries here because these get real shaded, and strawberries are the ground cover because this creeping Charlie grass overtook underneath there and started choking out strawberries. These are wild strawberries. These are Ozark strawberries. We got them. 2 plants. A rabbit ate them, and then everywhere the rabbit pooped out, there were strawberry plants. So we have billions of Ozark strawberry plants growing wild here. These are good. I cut out all the old canes and left them over on the hill for another day. Right here. This is what I'm getting to today. Last week I threw a bunch of hay here. The old hay, rotten hay, and the chickens found it, sadly. Somehow they came from up on the mountain and came down. So I'm going to go through here and fork this, try to loosen this up and thin out some of this hay because it's a little thicker. And then check my maypops too. But this is an area that gets sun all year in the summer. All summer long. It gets really hot over here. This is just old spent hay, the rotten outer layer. And when you dig down, it's a mulch, a thick mulch that's killing off the grass. Put nutrition in there, giving the worms something to eat. I'm gonna go through and fork this. This is how we till. This is an old potato fork. I seen some at Lowe's, they use it for removing shingles. It's this part welded onto a metal shaft with a T-handle. But we've had this for 15 years and it still works. All you do is you jump on it and lean it back. And now I'm tilling the soil without leaving a hard pan. But you gotta be careful to watch out for lines and pipes. Power lines, water lines, gas lines, drainage lines. But what I'm doing here is I'm marking out where to put a bed. A bed is the growing location. Traditionally you see a farm, they have big area for their tiller, like this wide for their tiller. They have this much tilling, and then they'd grow, little spot that's maybe 1 foot wide, maybe this wide, and yet they have this big of empty space. When you're trying to grow in your yard or make the most out of your space, you don't have a tiller, it's good to grow out in what's called a bed system. This is a raised bed system where you can have your beds here and your walkway here. Here's the bed system. You have the bed and we have our walkway here. And here's another way of growing a different way. This is an old window pane, and this is just a tote I filled up with dirt. I grew potatoes in here. So you can make the most out of your space. This I made what could be called a cold frame, where you take a piece of glass, put it over top of it to help keep it warm. But this is what we're using, is this old swing set. We don't use it as a swing set. This could be even used as a trellis system. But I'm marking out how far we're going to be growing and loosening it up, because when you use a tiller, the tines go like this and it compacts down up to a couple inches. After this, it loosens it all the way and doesn't compact it. There is a piece of glass there, no bottle cap. So what I'm doing is I'm loosening up about two forks width here. And then I'm going to lay some of this old hay and wood chips down, because this is a mulch I got to help let it decompose. This helps for water to get down in it, helps aerate it, let the worms have somewhere to eat all this hay, put good nutrition in your soil, help build it. And then what we'll probably do is lay down this landscape cloth here. It's got holes in it. And we'll probably put zucchini through here. And we did our okra here last year. And had a random sorghum come up. Don't know why sorghum came up. One big sunflower. I just seen this when I was tilling with the broad fork. The worms had loosened up and the worms start coming out of the soil. Normally when you till, you are destroying your worms that are eating your compost that has helped all your little microbes. Your nutrition, your soil normally gets damaged. Your nitrogen goes into the air. This very minimum disturbance, still loosening it because this has been compacted and walked on all winter. But just come in here, loosen it up, and I'm gonna throw some hay on here for these guys to have some food, put them to work. They're working for me. So, as long as the chickens don't eat them. I just seen that. I was going back across here. So these guys start popping up out of the soil. Putting them back down those holes so that they can get back to work. Get on down there, little worm. See you later. I'll get you some food. Go back to work. And here is my setup I've got so far. I used the forks to fork it like that, loosen it up, and I put this old rotten hay on top of this like a mulch weed barrier. See, it's just old rotten hay. You see the seeds coming up even, little sprouts of the grass coming up. You want to help Mr. Tom? Stay out of the grass. Stay out of the straw. And then this should help have a straight line-ish, straight-ish. And then this will be good for some of our hot summer crops. Putting okra through here. You can do this anywhere. This is just in our location. We get really hot sun during the summer. Straight overhead. This is south facing. We get a lot of sun here. So crops that like a lot of heat is where we're going to put here. Also it gets a lot of water. And this is a little area that we have growing. One of our gutters drains over here. So you can grow anywhere that you can. It's flat. Not even all flat. You could even grow in this. This hill just slides a lot. And I don't want to bench it and put anything on here. Because this hill is barely holding with all this moss. But you don't have to have all of these big fancy tillers and tractors. You don't even have to have a fork. This is just what I have to use. A shovel would work good. Even a spoon would work good. Or a dinner fork would work good. Just to poke a hole in the ground, put your plant, your seed, to grow your own food. And this is just what I had. Like I said, you can use grass clippings when you mow your grass. Put your grass clippings down. You rake your leaves. You throw them on bags on the side of the road. Put them down here to grow. You have wood chips or sawdust. You put that down to help build your soil. Keep the weeds down. I just found a piece of crate in my growing area. But this is just how I'm starting it right here. And it's March 20-something. 27th. And I'm letting this prep for a couple weeks. Because it's still too there still could be some snows coming in our area. I'm just gonna go through, prep this down this way. We have a little walkway. Do one here, walkway here, one here, one here. So I'll do 3 beds through here. And then this we can do trellising items through here. Off the swing. You see where we had stuff trellised up here last year.